Him and his mate were both patients on this long stay ward in the institution, and they got to chatting one day, and they were talking, and they thought, well, what would they do if we robbed a bank? That given that the state has incarcerated us on the basis that we're insane, and surely, if we were to rob a bank and plead insanity, they'd be obliged to accept the plea of insanity, given the nature of our current legal, domestic and medical circumstances. How could this possibly be a bad idea? So they get 2 water pistols, which they paint black in their occupational therapy session. And then 2 clown masks, and having gained the appropriate level of permission, they get a bus into town, walk into a bank and hold it up. And it goes brilliantly, it goes really well. They're leaving the bank, well, it's a British bank, isn't it? You know, they're leaving the bank with 2 see-through carrier bags stuffed full of cash. They hail a taxi, which to get to drive them literally round the corner to the pub. They walk into the pub, pile this cash out on the bar, and buy a round for everyone in the pub, and thus begins the biggest impromptu piss-up that part of the world has seen since the days of the Vikings. And by sundown, everyone in the room is transcendentally shit-faced. And eventually when the police do arrive on the scene, like the armed response unit, the police walk into this pub to find that the 2 of them, very drunk, sitting at this table with this enormous pile of money and these 2 masks and water pistols with this pile of money going, 1 for you, 1 for me. Yeah, 1 for me. And they put them on separate wards after that. That was the outcome of that. But I was at 17, I was very impressionable, so it's like I just met this hero, and I became all of a dither around him, as you do. I was just all awestruck by him, so every time I met him I was like, oh, I love your work. And I'm reading through all his case notes, and all this stuff came out from his trial, that basically it has to be stressed that the cashiers weren't particularly traumatised by this experience. It was obvious that they were using painted water pistols, but they thought they might as well err with the bank's policy of erring on the side of caution. So they thought, well, fuck it. So what you had was one of the most laid-back bank robberies in the history of all time, where neither robber nor victim gave particularly much of a toss as to how it all panned out. The other thing that's worth noting, they actually arrested the taxi driver. And then very quickly let him go again when they realised that he was every bit as baffled as they were. And I think my favourite detail of all, and it was their attempt, their defence lawyer that articulated this as by way of like a character in this. But basically the pair of them, they've got the masks, they've got the water pistols, they walk into this bank, and there's an enormous line-up for the tellers, for the cashiers. It's a really huge queue, so they just stand at the back of the queue with the masks. It does take many years of institutionalisation to go into that kind of behaviour.